It's been far too long since we went over a good old-fashioned Florida man story, and this afternoon lawn crime blessed us with an interesting fairy tale I hadn't heard before.
It's 4 p.m. in Lake County, Florida, where police catch up with one man who allegedly bared it all in a road rage incident.
You ever have such a serious case of road rage you can't help but hang hog and start shaking your wiener violently at the other car that made you upset? My guess is probably not, but I would argue maybe you just haven't been pushed to the edge quite yet. Because sometimes when you get real mad, the penis comes out. At least according to this situation, I suppose. That's a really interesting concept to me. Like, just getting, like, steam coming out of your ears, and you're like, ooh, why I oughta, and then dropping trow. I don't know, it's just very interesting to me. But anyway, you're about to meet a man who looks like Mike Ehrmantraut on Fent.
So, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. We got a complaint that your car, someone driving your car with a red tattoo on his right arm, exposed his genitals to a car in a road rage incident. That wasn't you?
No.
Okay. So where'd you just come back from? By chance?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, which way? Which one down there? KFC down there in
Leesburg.
Oh, up in Leesburg?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't get into an incident with anybody?
No.
No? Okay. Well, they described you to a T.
I find it very suspicious that he would refer to KFC as Kentucky Fried Chicken. Almost nobody does that, everyone just calls it KFC. I think, now keep in mind, I'm no professional super sleuth here or anything, but I think he was panicking a little bit and didn't know where to say he was coming from to try and throw him off the trail. Oh, I was over at Dickville. No, not there. Kentucky Fried Chicken is where I was.
Okay. What does that mean?
So I'm trying to figure out what actually happened. So I got one
Nothing
side.
happened.
I got one side of the story, and someone describing you perfectly to a T, along with your car and license plate.
When I'm out and about, my dad's in there. My dad's been with me all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the car with you, all on your way to KFC.
No.
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 So nothing happened. No road rage incident. Nothing like that.
No.
You don't remember anything like that.
No.
Okay.
Case closed then. Surely just an interesting coincidence that they happen to get the license plate as well as describing the man who owns the car to a T, as well as what he was wearing at the time and describing his tattoo, and it also matched the photographs they took. Alright, simple enough. We got the wrong guy. Something I want to briefly mention that has absolutely nothing to do with this story itself, just a little fucking side quest I want to yap about. The dog not being on a leash bothers me a lot. I have always said that even if you have the most well-behaved, best-trained dog, it is just a smart, safe idea to keep your dog on a leash when it's out in public. You never know what's going to happen. It's just better for you, your dog, and everyone else around you if it is just on a leash in public. I'm not going to yap about that too long, but I have never once had my dogs out without being on a leash, even though they are fucking angels.
Alright.
Tell him I got the wrong guy.
Oh, yeah? You think so? Well, they described you wearing exactly what you're wearing, bald, no beard, and a red tattoo on his forearm.
Okay.
Police identify the man seen here as 56-year-old James Box.
Mr. Box. A fitting name, I suppose. Very interesting. I love how he's just wearing the exact same shit from the road rage incident as well, like a little cartoon character, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised by because the road rage incident happened moments ago, not like weeks or months in the past. It's not like this has been some kind of grueling case that they've been, chipping away at for a long time, like they're trying to locate the Zodiac killer, deep in the forensics lab trying to find the cranky cock culprit or anything. So, I guess it makes sense he'd be in the same clothes, but I just can't help but find it very silly that they'd show up and he's just wearing the same shit, looking exactly the same, like he was fucking frozen in stasis. Maybe he should have put some more effort into, a disguise, maybe, to throw him off the trail. He comes out in a trench coat and those glasses with the big nose and fake mustache or something. It's not me, officer. I don't look anything like those photos.
So that's you. So,
Okay.
I'm giving you another opportunity to explain yourself, if you would like to.
There's nothing to explain. Why?
Okay.
So he pulls there, and I said, we've got to get his tag and call 911. So we pulled in, we tried to just get the tag, and that's when he got out of the car and started charging toward us first, physically. That's when I started taking those pictures, and when he got around this, the median there into the landscape, and that's where he stopped, pulled his pants all the way down, right there at our midnight.
Now, of course, I wasn't there at the scene. I did not bear witness to this event. but I have a hunch. It's not backed up by any scientific data nor the witness testimonies, but I have to imagine when he pulled his pants down, he didn't just stand there static T-posing with his meat in the wind. I think he was probably trying to helicopter it. That's just a theory, a game theory. Now, I cut around the lore a little bit here, but according to the witnesses, he was deranged. They mentioned that he stuck his head out of the window and started like making faces and sticking his tongue out. Apparently he had thrown some stuff at the vehicle as well, and then it eventually led to him getting into his birthday suit. And then also, he had apparently went back to his vehicle, and the family thought he was like trying to retrieve a weapon, according to the father there. So like it seemed like he was trying to scare them to the best of his ability, which is why they got his license plate, got his pictures, and reported it with the intent to like press charges against him. Also, their kid is in the car.
Officers decide it's time to confront James again.
The camera, but unfortunately I did.
The officers feel they have sufficient evidence to link Mr. Box to that crime. I would agree. It's not like this family just pulled this random fucking license plate out of their butt and somehow it landed at a guy that perfectly matched the description they described as well as matched in the photographs that they apparently took at the scene. I think that's pretty bulletproof, pretty watertight. So now the officers are going to get Mr. Box from his home. Now, I know the body cam footage is a little blurry right now, but he does clean it off. But at the moment, I recognize that the body cam looks like in Schedule 1 when you smoke your own meth. It's all blurry and shit, like you're going through a fog.
Hey, Mr. Box, can we have a conversation out here one more time?
You can tell me right there.
No, come on out.
Come on out for us. Yeah.
It's time to come out.
Time to come out.
Oh, you're gonna get rough now, right?
No.
Show me how tough you are.
No, we're gonna put you
Turn around.
Put your hands together like you're praying.
I don't pray.
Okay.
Mr. Box with an exquisite move here, a scholar's mate on the board. He puts them in a checkmating position when he says he doesn't pray. An interesting gambit from Mr. Box here, but it doesn't stop him from getting handcuffed.
With intent to prosecute.
Is it the people in the car?
Yeah.
Well,
Watch your
if you
knee.
want to, hey, hold on a
Watch your leg.
second.
I'm shutting
If
the
you
door.
want to
Watch
ask
your leg.
if you want to ask my dad the
You
question,
can move your leg or I'm gonna put you in forfeit.
for what?
Exposing his sexual organs to a woman and her child. Yes.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, no,
I got a question for
it
you.
happened out on the road.
Did you go to KFC with your son?
Did I go to where?
KFC with your son?
No.
No.
You might remember at the beginning of the story, Mr. Box said that his dad was with him all day, but then when he was asked if his dad was in the car when he went to KFC, he said no, which then makes it completely useless. His dad was not with him all day in that regard, clearly. And then when he's being put in the back of the police cruiser, he says to ask his dad the question, which, again, is worthless, because he already said his dad wasn't in the car. But they do still ask the father, were you in the car when your son went to KFC? And he just says, no. But he does say that they were together earlier, and he didn't see his son bring out the old, 3-inch glory or anything. So, like, I don't know why Mr. Box really thinks that his father's in a position to be able to, like, try and, like, bring the heat off of him somehow when he has already said that his dad wasn't there for when this would have happened. But anyway, they do talk to the father and inform him of what's going on. I feel really bad for the dad in this case because he seems like he is just really upset about it, which makes a lot of sense why he would be. Anyway, though, you hate to be a car on the road when Mr. Box is behind the wheel because he might just snap and you might see a little something more than you bargained for out there in the old, great outdoors. Anyway, yeah, they brought him in on the charges of indecent exposure. That's really about it. See ya. The other day on stream, I read about a story that's been weighing on my mind ever since. I can't stop thinking about it just because of how ridiculous it is, so I want to share it with all of you. It was a road rage incident in New Zealand, and at this point in my life, I feel like New Zealand is a second home to me because Troy, the other half of the Gentlemen, our music project, lives there. He is a born and raised Kiwi, and I keep up with a lot of New Zealand news, so when I see stories like this, there's like a sense of like disappointment and dread, like, come on, New Zealand, you're better than this. But anyway, in this road rage incident, the driver of a vehicle got very upset at a dog walker, so much so that he grabbed a sword from his car and started trying to carve him up with it, basically. He hit him with like a Mortal Kombat 1 Kinshi fatality. He left him with nearly fatal injuries. It was a miracle that the victim survived thanks to timely intervention from his son. And it's worth noting that the, last samurai here did this with his wife and child in the vehicle. Nearly murdered a man in front of them over absolutely nothing. But what makes this story stand out as an affront to God is the fact that the judge ruled that the punishment for the attacker would be 10 months of home detention and 100 hours of community service. He literally said, "Go home, Buster. That's it." No, it's a complete miscarriage of justice here. He gets grounded after nearly murdering a man with a fucking sword. Like, he's been studying the blade, unleashes his forbidden jutsu here, like Demon Slayer shit. He gets out his degenerate breathing techniques, nearly kills this guy in cold blood, and the judge says, "You're grounded." That's crazy to me. He got the same punishment a high school student would if his parents caught him with weed. Like, it blows my mind that he can almost murder somebody with a fucking sword in an act that the judge fully recognizes was madness, cowardly, nearly fatal, and recognizes the severity of it, and then still says, "Just go home." I don't know. The whole thing is baffling, so I just want to share this story with all of you because it is a weird one. You read about the Tesla driver who sliced another driver with a samurai sword in Road Rage in New Zealand. Man got him with the Bushido arts. Jesus Christ. No, I did not see that. Samurai sword Road Rage. Man gets home detention for callous and cowardly attack on dog walker. A motorist who... Here, I'll just pull it up on stream. This sounds crazy. A motorist who took a samurai sword to a dog walker in an Auckland road rage incident has been sentenced to home detention. It's not like punishment. Go home. A man was left with chunks of flesh and bone carved out of him after a brutal attack where a driver got out of his car and attacked him with a sword, leaving the pedestrian bleeding in a ditch. The victim, who was walking his dog, survived the attack thanks to his son, who found him and gave him first aid. But the seriousness of the injuries sustained by the victim have left the tradie with lifelong injuries and unable to work. Much to the dismay of the victim's family, Judge Meena Warpuri on Tuesday announced Darren Clark to 10 months home detention, 100 hours of community work, and to pay $5,000 after pleading guilty to causing grievous bodily harm with intent to injure. That's not justice. That's a joke. What in the world? Ruined this guy's life with a samurai sword, and he gets 100 hours of community service and 10 months at home. That's crazy. That's actually insano-style nonsense. Judge Warpuri said the attack was both premeditated and impulsive, but that injuries weren't foreseeable as he had struck him with the scabbard on the blade. Like, just look at what he's saying. In handing down his sentence, Judge Warpuri praised the actions of the victim's son. Without his timely intervention, it is highly likely your victim would have succumbed to blood loss and died from injuries, and yet the person who perpetrated the attack only gets house arrest for 10 months? I want to go over the severity of the attack here, because it's brutal. So let's go ahead and read about exactly what happened and what the effects were, because the victim's life has forever changed. He can now no longer even do the job that he was doing prior to the attack. The victim was 55 at the time of the attack, and he spotted Clark's Tesla approaching. He stood in the middle lane, motioning for the vehicle to slow down, and tapped the Tesla's roof with his palm as Clark steered the vehicle around him. Clark had his wife and young children with him in the car. He stopped the vehicle, grabbed the sheathed samurai sword, which he claimed to keep in the vehicle for protection, which is a wild thing for protection. Usually it's like a baseball bat or something. This man, for some reason, must have watched one anime and said, "That's better than a baseball bat," and then made the switch. But anyway, he gets his sword, he starts swinging the weapon in a downward directional angle, which he described to police as being 50% force. I swear to God, this guy is actually just a weeb. Now he's just making up things. I was only using 50% of my power. He's lucky I didn't go Ultra Instinct plus Ultra on his ass. But it was enough to shatter the sheath on impact and inflict major damage as it sliced through the victim's upper body. He suffered a deep laceration to his neck, down to the bone, without hitting the spinal cord. The complainant's jaw was broken and his facial muscles and nerves were severed. The sword also cleaved a large chunk of flesh and bone from his left shoulder, which required emergency surgery and skin grafts, and also severed tendons in his left hand. The victim then fell into the ditch on the side of the road and Clark drove away. He tried to call for help but was unable to unlock his phone because of all the blood. He was found minutes later by his son who was driving home. And then it talks about the lasting effects. He still suffers facial drooping, speech impediment, ringing in his ears, and can't fully lift his arm because of the severed tendons, which means he can no longer work the profession he dedicated his adult life to. And that profession was an electrician, from what I've read. So his life has forever changed as a result of this. And the attacker, his life was basically a vacation. He just stays at home for 10 months. Like, that's something people do on purpose, like, for fun. Like, that's just, I don't know, that blows my mind. So apparently the reason they were so light on the sentencing here is because the attacker argued he didn't know that the scabbard broke, and when his wife told him that she had seen a bunch of blood, he panicked, dropped his family off, who was crying and screaming because the young children in his car just witnessed their father go fucking psycho mode. So he claims he dropped them off after realizing the scabbard had broken. He went back to look for the victim, but paramedics and everyone had already shown up, and then he turned himself in. So they're saying that he's expressing deep remorse for what he's done here, and that's why it's so light on sentencing, but I don't think that changes anything. If this guy is fully capable of doing something like this, he's not safe to be around. He's not safe to be in the public like this. For something so small, like having the roof of your Tesla tapped, to nearly kill a man over it is ridiculous. Like, I understand the sword was sheathed at the time, but it doesn't take a lot to break that, clearly. And even still, even if it's sheathed, hitting someone with a blunt object, like a sword sheath, is also enough to kill someone as well. But man, they really put a lot of stock into apologies in New Zealand court, it seems, because that was cited here that he wrote like a letter of apology, and man, that must have been the most beautifully written letter of all time, up there with some of Shakespeare's best work, in order to get out of a serious sentence for nearly murdering someone. But yeah, I've been thinking about this story a lot just because I still can't fully process why the sentencing would be so light on something so severe and so mad and brutal. But yeah, I just wanted to share this story with all of you because I've thought about it a lot recently, and that's really about it. So yeah. What do you know about Gary Peacock? Part-time biker, full-time clown. I have been giggling hard at the special silliness of Gary Peacock. So I just stumbled across this saga of Gary versus Pierce. So what happened is, Gary Peacock is a cyclist, and he's chugging along down the road, getting some cardio in, and a young man named Pierce is going to a skate park, and he passes Gary. But it was a little too close for comfort in Gary's mind. So he was enraged. Gary did what any sane man would do. He hunted him down. He stayed on his ass like a hound dog. He smelt blood in the water, so he started really kicking it into turbo and went following Pierce, and eventually when Pierce parked, Gary came up to the window, got really aggressive with him, started berating him, even yanked on his door a lot. It was like the fucking scene out of Jurassic Park with the T-Rex. And it leads to Gary calling the police. And things don't go the way Gary thought they would when the police arrive at the scene, I'll tell you that much. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yes, sir?
Did you see me?
Pulled off to the side, I did. I have it on dash cam.
Good. You see how close you came to me? You know what the law is?
I did not.
It's 3 feet, asshole.
I was.
No, you weren't.
Say it. Don't spray it, Gary. Man is so upset he is spitting like an alpaca here. Every word that he gets out is like, he's like ventured to rock bottom from SpongeBob. Did you see me? Asshole? Man's blowing raspberries with his speech.
Okay.
You want to check your dash cam? Go
Yeah,
ahead and
I have
check
a
it.
dash cam.
Check it. What's your name? Last name.
You don't need that.
What's your last name?
You don't need my last name. I don't
got
need
your
an
license
ID.
plate.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to call the police then.
Why? I have it on dash cam. You're
Fine.
weird.
This was a dangerous move from Pierce here to call the Gary Peacock weird. The enforcer of justice. The man whom even the Lord is a little afraid of. So, Gary Peacock is puffing out his chest here. He is literally peacocking here, trying to fucking flex his meat out here, demanding that this guy identify himself to Gary as if he has any ground to stand on there. Nothing happened. If you boil down this situation, it is literally a nothing burger. You're fighting ghosts. You're having a fantasy in your head that's making you upset. You're right to get mad if he was too close. You could shake your fist, be like, oh, pay more attention. That was scary. But at the end of the day, you wipe the sweat from your brow saying, whew, close call. At least I didn't get hit. Then you pull up your big boy britches and you move on like a grown-up. The only thing that can come from this level of road rage, this outrageous level of anger where it has you going out of your way to hunt down the person to confront them directly, is either you get your ass beat or worse, or it escalates the situation to a degree where you can't come back from it and you end up making a fool of yourself, calling the cops, and getting yourself in trouble. There is no good outcomes from road rage like this, and it's a lesson Gary learns the hard way.
Fine.
I'm gonna go skate.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You're not. You're not going anywhere until the police come.
Dude, stop.
No, you're a fucking...
Dude, literally stop.
No, I'm calling the police and you're not leaving. You're not leaving. You're not leaving.
Bro's got his fucking hands on me and stuff.
Yeah, guy
Why?
won't leave because of the police.
Look at this dude.
I still can't get over how perfect Gary looks for this role. Like, he looks like someone that you would envision, like picture in your head, if you were told that a cyclist was freaking out over nothing at a skate park. Like, he looks like if you tried to draw some kind of quintessential creepy PE coach. So Gary's taking matters into his own hands now, ripping at the guy's door, trying to prevent him from leaving, putting his hands on him to stop him from moving. All because Gary believes that he was going to flee the scene like it was fucking Need for Speed. He was just going to burn rubber and get out of there for fear of the repercussions that Gary could bring, the unholy hellfire that he would rain down. Even though dude wasn't even trying to leave, he was trying to skate. You know, the activity he came there to do. So he wasn't even leaving the scene. Not that there's even a scene here in the first place, just the scene that Gary's making with the conniption that he's having. He was going 10 feet away to skate, which is what he planned to do, man. He wasn't running away.
What are you doing? Why are you so cranky?
I'm calling the police. That's
Dude,
all.
why are you so cranky?
No, you're not going anywhere.
Oh my god.
You're not going anywhere.
I don't want to be aggressive with you, dude.
You already are. You pushed into me. I asked you to wait. You didn't wait.
Push into
You did. How'd you get out of the car?
You yanked my
Yeah,
door.
I've got a very aggressive teenager here that almost hit me in the car, and now he won't give me his last name, and now he's trying to leave. Gene, and he's recording me because he's a jerk.
Watch your fucking mouth, Gary. Calling a guy a jerk? You're going a little too far, man. You're rampaging. You're being rambunctious, and you need to calm down. You're gonna say some things you're gonna regret, Gary, if you keep calling people jerks.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to come and give this guy a ticket. I'd be willing to testify in court against this guy. He came way too close to me. Huh? He did not hit me. There's a law in Utah that says you have to stay 3 feet from a cyclist. He did not. He just went right next to me. I wouldn't bother pulling over if this guy weren't unsafe. Yes, I'm still on my bicycle. He's here. Gary Peacock, you...
I love that he starts reciting law to the police. I know more than you guys, so you might be missing the problem here. No, I wasn't hit, but he was way too close, violating this law, which I'm gonna have to spit to you guys because you're too fucking stupid to get it, I guess. And I love the way he announces, I'm Gary Peacock. Like, I half expected him to strike like a superhero pose, like the Crimson Chin. That name fits him so well. That is perfect. That's like a name I would make for one of my Dark Souls characters, like fucking Phil Cheeseburger or something. I cannot believe his name is Gary Peacock.
He's just being aggressive and obnoxious. You leave, you're
He
not
put his
part of
hands
this.
on me. I would stay if I were you.
Yeah, there's another individual and he's just standing there. I'd like to get rid of him. I'm riding a bike. I have more rights than you.
That statement actually goes so hard. I'm riding a bike, I have more rights than you. That shit is like t-shirt level. That is actually fucking hard. Love that. So one of Pierce's friends who he was going to skate there with shows up just to kind of be a witness to this madness. Gary does keep putting his hands on Pierce, so it was good to have a third party just to be sure, you know, make sure things stay civil. And Gary's not too happy about that.
He's just standing here. He's standing there, but I don't feel safe with both of them here.
friend, he's gonna stay.
He's staying because these two are trying to intimidate me. This guy tried to leave, this guy came, and he's trying to intimidate me.
He's just standing there menacingly. Gary is deeply insecure, I suppose, with this. There's two of them. They must be trying to fucking intimidate me. That's the only explanation. Help! 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 There's two people here and they're looking at me. They're looking at me! Help! Like, there is nothing that's happened. Keep in mind, nothing has happened except for Gary putting his hands on Pierce. That's it. And Pierce isn't the one freaking out.
Are you separate sides of the parties?
Yes.
Okay, if you'll stand over there by those
I'm
cars.
a complaining party.
Fantastic.
Can I tell you what happened?
Fantastic. Will you go stand over there for a second?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Don't let him leave. You tried to leave already.
Sir, I'm right here. Thank you.
You can just immediately hear how annoyed the officer is to just be here wasting his time with this absolute drivel, this pitiful nonsense. The officer shows up and is already just over Gary's shit. Just the first interaction, he's just like, fantastic, fantastic. Can you just go over there, man? Can you just get the fuck out of here? Can you just go take a hike? Scram. And then as Gary's walking away, he's making sure to give a little backseat gaming here, some advice to the officer. Don't let him leave. And you can see the officer's shadow on the car. He does this. Like, are you serious? He does one of these. And he says, sir.
Later, can I call the district attorney and press charges? Is this so press charges over? I know it's a small incident, but...
Well, and here's the thing.
Thank you.
Sign his citation that you were present for it, and then I'm going to issue you one for disorderly conduct as well. So if you'll just hang tight over on the sidewalk over there,
then I won't press charges.
It's too late.
Speaking of pressing charges, Gary, it seems like you're very hungry for charges. How about you get served some from the menu? Do those taste pretty good? The officer hits him with the disorderly conduct charges. So, I cut out quite a bit here, but Gary insists that Pierce's life gets fucked for this, even though nothing has happened, even though Gary himself admits that it's a small incident, but he wants to salt the earth with it. So, he has point blank said that he wanted Pierce to be arrested. If he'd have it his way, he'd go to jail, was his words. And the officer shows up and, well, that's not exactly something that's going to be happening here because Pierce recorded it. So the officer gets to see that Gary was the instigator, the aggressor, and pretty much everything that had happened was because of Gary, this whole incident. So, uh-oh.
Why am I getting... for what?
Because you were aggressive to him.
Yes, I was, but he was trying to leave.
Okay, go wait over there. I'll explain it here in a second.
Can't we just...
Nope.
Oh, come on, man. I was the victim here.
All right, watch out. We can go a different way, and you can be arrested for disorderly conduct. That's an arrestable offense.
What kind of disorderly conduct is it?
You opened his door 3 times. Okay? He doesn't have to get out of his car for you. He doesn't have to identify for you. You are not law enforcement.
You're right, officer. He's something more than law enforcement. He outranks you. This is Gary fucking Peacock, super cyclist. My voice cracked even saying his name because I'm not worthy. His name commands too much power and too much respect, damn it.
You don't get to come out here and enforce things. You call us and let us do it. Okay. He didn't say he was going to leave in his vehicle. He's like, I'm here to skate. I'm going to go skate. He didn't believe he did anything wrong. He's going to provide me the dash cam.
Okay.
He showed me the recording, and you were the aggressive one, not him.
Yes, because he...
Yes, and you don't get to be aggressive with people like that.
Okay.
That's disorderly. That's why you are getting a citation as well.
Why is it too late? What does it mean? What does it mean, disorderly? Do I have to go to court for this? You're kidding me.
Yeah. You were adamant that this, and you were the one causing the stir here.
What if I apologize?
It's too late. I've already seen the evidence. I am obligated.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not be too hasty here. A sorry from Gary Peacock? That's worth more than gold. Let's not get carried away. So you can see that the tables have turned. The shoe is on the other foot now. And it is just so satisfying. It's impossible not to smile watching his tough guy act fall to pieces. That bravado that he marched up there with, thinking that he was in the right, and the Pierce was an aggressive asshole, this and that, when really, it turns out he was the aggressive asshole the whole time, and now his behaviors got him in some hot water with this citation of disorderly conduct. Now, it is worth mentioning, Pierce was also issued a citation for passing too close to a biker, but that was dropped. So that seems like something the officer did just to try and like get this, moved on. That didn't stick. However, the disorderly conduct one, well, that one kind of did. Gary Peacock was forced to give like a little half-assed apology. I think he also got fined. I'm not exactly sure. I saw 2 conflicting reports on that. But regardless of what the actual outcome is there, just watching this was a joy. So I had to share this. It had me giggling. That's the story of Gary Peacock. That's about it. See ya. This morning I hit my foot on the stairs, and it hurt quite a bit. It was like that episode in SpongeBob where he stubs his toe and only cried for 20 minutes. It made me feel like shit. It made me feel like a pussy. And it made me want to be a stronger, tougher guy. So I figured, let's watch some tough guy videos in order to get inspired and see how it's done and what it really looks like to be a tough guy.
Pretend to take a photo because you're a big pussy. I'm gonna kick your ass up here.
Okay, do it. Come on.
To give you some context, the man filming flipped off the driver who nearly hit him and his dog while crossing the street, and the driver was not too happy about seeing that bird go his way. So he slows down and says he's gonna kick his ass up there. There's some real goofy shit like straight out of King of the Hill. So the guy filming has now booked a whoop-ass appointment at the upcoming parking lot, and he's not afraid, he's not backing down.
Alright, so go on, get out.
Why'd you threaten me back there?
I have it on video of you saying you're going to get out and kick my ass.
Well, you just threatened me.
Hey, what the fuck is this? Some kind of magic trick? They made the tough guy from behind the wheel disappear, and now we're just left with this scared volleyball coach talking about being threatened. This can't be the same guy that was talking about beating dick and beating ass from a moment ago, right? Must have switched out or something like that. This guy is just the quintessential peaked in high school loser. He's got a beer belly now, 2 kids that don't respect him, his wife feels trapped with him, so she's probably getting experimental with the neighbor, just trying to think of a way out of the marriage. He just does not seem like a happy guy.
With what?
You flipped me off, and I got it on camera.
Oh yeah, I flipped you off because you didn't stop for a pedestrian.
Who's a pedestrian?
Me and my dog.
You weren't there.
Oh yeah, we were.
No, you weren't.
Okay, well then I flipped you off for no reason for my First Amendment right. So go fuck yourself.
First Amendment, okay.
Yeah.
You can threaten me with the go fuck yourself.
Threaten? Are you threatened by freedom of speech, sir?
Well, you're shaking.
You should go fuck yourself.
You're shaking like a leaf.
Now it's turned into a Twitter argument here out of nowhere. So this guy was talking so fucking tough from behind the wheel of his car. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna kick your ass over there at the middle school parking lot. It's going down. Please don't call my bluff. God, please don't come over here. Oh God, he's here. So he starts to panic, and then he immediately gets out his phone, fucking fumbling it around. He's probably got it and not even recording. He probably just accidentally took a picture and thinks it's recording. Why are you threatening me? This maniac, help! Calling the police. This crazy madman's talking about he's gonna kick my ass. He's gonna beat my butt. Oh, please, God, get here and help. Why'd you threaten me? You know, just one of these cowards. Just, there's so many people like this that, you know, that very stereotypical hold me back type, you know, where someone's like going wild, like pretending they want to fight, puffing out their chest, but really that's the last thing in the world they want. That's exactly what this guy tried, but he tried it with the wrong guy. This guy was about that action. He's got his dog with him, and he was probably just going to go over there and beat his ass with one hand.
Yeah, I am, because you threatened to beat my ass.
Well, you can cry.
And this is going on Facebook.
Okay, cry.
Have you heard of Bellingham Living?
Yep.
Yeah, you're going all over it.
Well, I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, what did you say you were going to come do?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, it's on video.
Well, look at you.
Yeah, because you threatened to beat my ass.
Your dog isn't like you.
And that's the conclusion of this David vs. Goliath match. He never even got out of the car. So the fight that he tried to start, he didn't even show up to. And I have no doubt he drove away thinking that he was the winner and the big man. Which is real fucking sad. Now let's go ahead and go to a classic. I'm sure most of you have seen this video, but this one's such a classic and I really was feeling like watching some tough guy shit. So let's go ahead and watch one of the internet's finest tough guy moments.
You tried to rear-end me and my fucking wife, bitch! Look what you did to my fucking car! I hope you have insurance, motherfucker! Get the fuck out of your truck! I'm gonna beat your fucking ass! Get the fuck out, bitch! Get the fuck out, you pussy!
This road rage incident really has everything you could want. A protagonist you can't help but root for as he just silently stone-faced stares ahead, ignoring the goofball outside of his window doing an interpretive dance and losing his mind. It's just a wonderful video.
Fuck out of your truck! Get the fuck out, you pussy ass bitch! Let's go! Get out! Get out of your truck! Get out of your truck so I can beat your fucking ass!
I will say, his negotiating skills need work. You know, maybe get out of the truck so I can give you candy or something, you know? Like, really try and entice him out of there. Lure him out like an animal. Set little breadcrumbs or something that he might open the door and, you know, get up, you know? He's not even really trying to persuade him to leave. Right now, his only bargaining chip is get out of the truck so I can beat your ass. Who's gonna really want to take that deal? And they can just sit there and laugh at you. I also really appreciate the music in this clip because I think it really adds to the ambiance. The boner jams really add an extra layer of beauty to the video.
Wanna go? Come on! Let's go! Let's go! Take a fucking video! Take a fucking video, cunt! You fucking whore, bitch cunt! Let's go! Come on!
Tough guy thought he was on Xbox Live there for a second.
Get out of your fucking car!
Things really escalate there. We've reached the climax. As his friends show up, he gets even more confident and he goes full baby rage mode. Get out! It's great. And then all of a sudden a G.I. Joe out of nowhere shows up to try and put the kibosh on the whole thing here. Also, one of his friends looks exactly like him. They look like clones. They're even wearing the exact same shirt in a different color. I don't know if they planned that. Or maybe they could be twins, I suppose, but I just thought this was interesting. It's like a video game developer who got lazy, so they just used the same character model and changed the clothes color. Yeah, it's pretty much where that one ends. I really was expecting him to start crying after the huge meltdown moment, but I don't think he ever did get any tears out. He probably did cry on the drive home, I imagine. He really just let it all out because the emotions were just overwhelming. But it would have been nice to see him cry on camera. But, oh well. It's still a classic. And I think these two tough guy videos are pretty solid stuff. Now I think I have a better idea of what it means and looks like to be a tough guy. That's about it. So yeah. I've used Uber and Lyft hundreds of times each, Uber more than Lyft, and I've never had a notably awful experience before. You know, I've never gotten into a car and felt unsafe. You know, I look at my driver and he's wearing like a trench coat and sharpening a hacksaw and then winks at me. I've never had like a really bad time with ride sharing. The only time it got wacky and weird was one time I took an Uber leaving the bar, and on the way home, I was convinced I was in the car with a prophet, like an angel. We were driving on the interstate, just two boys being dudes, and out of nowhere, the Uber driver pulls a prophecy out of his asshole. He said, "This guy's about to hit the median." And at first, I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought it was like a riddle that I had to solve or something to get money off of the Uber rides. I was like, oh, the answer is at time, you know? But then I realized he was talking about the car in front of us, obviously. And it felt really weird to me because the car wasn't doing anything weird. We were behind them for a little while, like maybe a mile or two, and they weren't driving erratically or recklessly. They didn't look like a drunk driver or anything. And then out of nowhere, a couple of seconds after he said that, he like willed it into existence. The car swerved and scraped against the median and then tried to get back into the lane. Out of fucking nowhere. I was like, oh my god, we are living in a simulation. But yeah, that was my weirdest experience with Uber and ride sharing in general. But of course I've seen the horror stories, like the absolutely awful ones, and this is one of those. This is a pretty special one.
You know, I'm just trying to ask you to go to speed limit is all.
I'm saying I'm gonna go.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Don't really know what's going on in her car here. She's created a little crime scene there. Like, stepping into this vehicle looks like you'd be stepping into your neighbor's shitty haunted house on Halloween. It's just really goofy looking. I don't get it. I guess it's supposed to be early Halloween decorations. She's got like a blow-up sex doll in the passenger seat. Or maybe it's there to like prevent her passengers from getting up front. Like, hey, you can't sit there. Clearly, this inflatable Mr. Krabs doll's taking that seat. So just get in the back, all right? You know, I don't even know what the fuck it is. I mean, maybe it's an inflatable clown or something. I couldn't tell you, but it's pretty weird stuff. Now, what happened is the passenger asked if they could roll down the window and drive the speed limit, which I think is a pretty reasonable request because this lady's out here driving like it's Grand Theft Auto 5. I was half expecting her to try and ramp this vehicle off of a parked tow truck. She's treating it like it's Fast and Furious universe and she's trying to catch Dominic Toretto. So it's not like the passenger's being an asshole or anything, just asking, hey, can you drive the speed limit so you don't kill both of us here? And that just sets her off. She loses her goddamn mind there. Slow down! Fucking yanks on the e-brake and does a 360. Suck on this, pussy fart! You can hear, like, this tires start screeching. She completely takes her eyes off the road, turns around and starts swiping at the camera like she's a kaiju, like Godzilla trying to knock over a building. And meanwhile, the passenger's laughing the entire time. The absolute fucking dick on this man. The fucking balls of pure adamantium to laugh through an experience like this is inspiring. They could have very easily died here. The driver went feral and totally forgot they were operating a vehicle. This could have ended up like the Billy Madison scene where O'Doyle Rules just fucking shoots their car off a cliff like a missile. And meanwhile, the whole time, the guy's just giggling about it.
Alright. Well, you got to... Hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk. I'm not going anywhere until you open that trunk.
Unironically, she starts squealing. Literally squealing. This is what a small dog sounds like when it's trying to intimidate a larger dog, but it's also very afraid as well. It actually sounds like somebody stepped on a toad. It is shocking that a human being can make this noise with their vocal cords. This is what it sounds like to smoke 15 packs a day.
Alright. Well, you got to... Hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk.
Sorry to hit you with the surprise instant replay on the Jumbotron. It's just I'm so impressed with her ability to hit this screeching note. This is the brown note. Like, hearing that makes a human being involuntarily shit themselves. This is such an abhorrent sound. It's like someone's recorder broke, but they still desperately tried to play hot cross buns on it.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
Nope. You're gonna have to get my bag out of your car. I just want my bag, man. That's all I want was my bag. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm no Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, but I'm pretty sure this is a highly illegal act here. You can't just pull over on a busy interstate and kick out the passenger, because they could easily just get hit by a car and die, and you're fully responsible for it. What a remarkably reckless decision from this asshole here. But credit where credit is due, she did slam him with a real humdinger, saying, fuck you and fuck your mom too. So she tossed in a your mom there, so she really got him. I was really hoping she'd double down and go for a D's nuts as well. Just be like, hey, yeah, you can you get off at the D's exit and find another lift. D's nutties. Then she fucking peels out, poof, drifts in there. But she handled herself like a professional, only sticking with a your mother statement as she launched his suitcase across the road.
Me too.
So she's running around barefoot like a hobbit, threatening an Uno reverse card, saying, well, I'm also filming everything, so that way we have two angles of how stupid I am and how reckless of a driver I am. I don't think there's any world or any multiverse out there where there's a single reality where what she was doing was justifiable. She was driving extremely fast and reckless. She turned around to swipe at the guy's phone while driving extremely fast, tires screeching, and then pulling off to the side of the road to kick him out. Pretty hard to defend stuff, I'd say. As she blasts off back onto the road, she nearly clipped the van that was next to her because she tried to get back too early, and that would have been an absolute catastrophe. Her road rage almost got even more people hurt. Then she left this guy stranded. I'm assuming he was able to find his way back to civilization after being dropped off in the middle of fucking nowhere on the interstate. And yeah, I don't really think this is the best Lyft experience. I would imagine this is at the absolute least 2 stars, I would say. It has to be. Because this was not great. This was not, you know, spectacular service, I would argue. But at least he survived the trip. I was getting worried when she was driving the car and slamming backwards, screeching tires and shit. I thought that was just going to be the end of him. I thought we were looking at like some Blair Witch Project found footage kind of shit, but luckily everyone was okay. That's about it. So yeah. What makes you mad more than anything in the world? What gets under your skin and just ticks you off? I know that this is an iconic question once posed by the great Ned Schneebly in School of Rock, but it applies to what I want to talk about today. Because for one unhinged psychopath, the answer to this question was so baffling, he ends up throwing his life away for something extremely insignificant. We've all got mad at small things, right? Trivial shit that doesn't matter, whether it's, you know, getting killed in a video game that you think is the result of lag, or maybe someone gives you some goofy eyeballs and you don't like the way they look at you and it makes you feel a little uneasy and it makes you upset perhaps. We've all got mad at something mundane. But one man in Oregon just got so upset that a parade forced him to go on a bit of a detour that he decided to fucking bulldoze through the blockade and then drive through the parade, nearly hitting people, including children, and will now likely spend the rest of his life behind bars, rightfully so. This is an individual with a severe case of stick-it-to-the-man-neosis. He fucking lost his mind and filmed himself doing it the entire time, by the way, all because of a slight detour for a parade. Now, there was one intellectual in chat last night that for some reason his comment was so stupid that it's sticking with me and just marinating in my brain about this story. He said, "Why is he getting punished? No one got hurt." Brother, let me sit you down in the stupid chair real quick. You can't bulldoze through a blockade, and keep in mind, I haven't shown you the video yet, but I will in a second. There is a scene, like straight out of an old 90s action film, where he like ramps his car up on 2 fucking wheels in order to squeeze through the blockade more efficiently and blast through the parade. You can't do that because you're endangering all the lives around you. I can't believe that even needs explaining in any capacity at all. It blows my mind that I even need to tell you why that's bad. Especially when we've already seen a couple times in the past someone using their vehicle as a weapon during parades where they hit and kill people. Even if his goal wasn't the attempted murder of people at the parade, he almost hit people, and this easily could have ended up in a situation where he did hit, harm, or even kill people from this reckless action. So just because he narrowly avoided a fatal catastrophe doesn't mean that he shouldn't be punished. He is not fit to be in society. And not only that, I'm going to go ahead and give away a big spoiler, he's also a fucking pedophile. He has a rap sheet that extends for like most of his life, and a lot of the crimes involve sex crimes with minors, apparently. I'll just go ahead and play you the news segment here that we went over on stream. You see the video of the guy driving through the Portland parade? Oh, that was so fucking weird, yeah. He didn't hit anyone, but it was so weird. I didn't see the whole video, but I saw like the first bit.
Dashcam footage obtained by NBC affiliate KGW submitted by prosecutors.
Brave showing it. No, he doesn't hit anyone. They said road rage, but I don't exactly know what it was in particular. But for some reason, he just drives to the parade and then just drives fucking through it. It's crazy. It was unhinged.
Frustrated, stuck in traffic due to road closures clearing the way for Portland's Grand Floral Parade. His anger boiling over.
They got it all blocked off. The Lloyd Center exit, the Convention Center exit.
Wait, so this was all over the road being blocked off for a parade? Holy shit. I don't think I've ever been that mad over anything in my life. Jesus, he's got that bitch up on 2 wheels. God damn. Like I said, he doesn't hit anyone, but look at this shit.
Bystanders sent running as the Chevy Avalanche.
That's terrifying. This is his camera POV. Well, yeah, obviously it's his camera POV. They didn't put like a drone on his hood or anything. For some reason, For some reason, he records his own cabin, even though I can't imagine this is an isolated incident with this kind of blow up. Yeah, this is the guy. He caught himself in 4K.
Charged with 38 counts, including attempted assault and reckless endangerment. He has pleaded not guilty. Residents in
Not
Portland
guilty,
still
huh?
shaken by this
Are we
phone
sure?
call.
I've been framed.
Court documents show Metcham is from Portland and has been in and out of prison and juvenile detention since he was 15 on sex abuse convictions against minors.
Whoa.
No trial date has been set.
So he's a pedophile, too. Good lord. What the fuck?
For these latest charges. Valerie.
All right, Aaron, thank you.
Well then.
Thanks for watching.
What a situation. All that because they blocked off the road for a fucking parade. They should just... Well, I mean, I don't think he's leaving jail again. 38 counts? I mean, shocker. You can't do this. You can't just drive through a parade like that. So I don't think he's going to be leaving jail anytime soon. He was probably late to the Chris Hansen meetup. I really wonder what he was in such a rush for. I am curious. Man heard the elementary school was about to get out and he wanted to go get good seats. I have no idea what he'd be so angry about for having like a slight detour. You would think someone would be careful driving when they have a suspended license. Well, not only that, you'd think he'd be even more cautious having a suspended license and also being a fucking pedophile. Like, the last thing you'd want is for people to know about you. This man just put himself out there in the biggest way possible. The Macy's going back to jail parade. Good one. Suspended license, no insurance, and he's self-recording. The self-recording might actually just be a court order, though, to make sure there's no children in his car. Like, I can't imagine this guy would be self-recording on his own volition. This had to be, like, the government stepping in saying, listen, you can have access to a motor vehicle, but we have to know who's inside your cabin at all times. The gall to plead not guilty, though, when he records himself doing it is incredible. I understand that that's probably just, like, the standard legal strategy, but man, that is very silly. Keep in mind, this is all alleged. Of course, yes. He allegedly drove through the parade while recording himself screaming and running through this entire celebration and then parking his car. It could have been anyone. We don't know yet. It was all AI. That's going to be a real legal defense strategy pretty soon. Your Honor, that's not my client. It's a deep fake. My client can't even make this face. I want to show you a bit from his dash cam perspective here because it's diabolical. He goes over the traffic cones and now he starts speeding up. He's treating this like it's a game of Grand Theft Auto 5, so he pops it up here. He's got his action movie stunt going on. He goes through the bigger blockades and the bigger trucks, and then he gets around to the actual parade, and this is where things get really scary. This is that kind of shit that has you hold your breath when you see the footage, because he is going fast. This man is fucking zooming. He is cruising here, nearly loses control because he, like, hops over the grass there, it seems. And then it almost feels like right here he starts contemplating whether or not to hit people. He then continues to drive through the parade for a lot longer, and there's also, like, a police officer that tries to get him to stop. He refuses to, and eventually drives out of the parade and away. All of this over having to just be slightly inconvenienced because of a detour due to a parade. It's fucking crazy. There are absolute lunatics out there. It's frightening. Just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. Yep. I've made it no secret that Miami is one of my least favorite places I've ever visited. I've been there about 3 times now, and every single time it's a nightmare. It's extremely expensive for anything. I remember going there for spring break in college, and a single beer was 18 clams. I will never forget that price because it had my eyes popping out of my skull like it was Looney Tunes. It was unbelievable. I also hate how crowded it is, so if you're trying to go 5 miles by car, you're better off just hopping on a fucking unicycle. You'll get there significantly faster. It takes like an hour to just go a handful of miles. And it's a cacophony of annoying noise, because people are constantly, like, hitting their horn like they need that more than oxygen. So if you're in like the Miami Beach area, it just sounds like you're being skull fucked by an air horn at all times. I have not had a good experience any of the times I've visited, but there is one thing Miami is very well known for that I'm very well aware of, and that's road rage. Watching at full speed, it really felt like he stayed in the air longer and got higher, but when I went back and like froze frame, he didn't get that high off the ground at all. It's like he got in the air and then started lagging like there was a ping issue. But this gentleman here jumps up with a flying hammer fist and fucking judo chops the mirror off of this car in a road rage incident. This video has been going viral over the last 24 hours, and it had me giggling. Also, the caption that I saw with it, it was posted by Barstool Sports when I first saw it, and the caption said, "This man put the mirror on a poster." Even that had me laughing, but just the way that he leaps into the air like Darius Alting out of League of Legends, just to come down with like a fucking full force asteroid and blast the mirror off the car. Oh my god, it was the thing of legend. I don't know how hard it is to do that, by the way. I don't know if this is a display of martial arts prowess or not, but I do remember when I was a kid, I accidentally did this to my parents' car mirror after I shot a basketball and it caught the front of the rim and hit right into the mirror. So I don't even think it takes that much force. I just feel like most people don't bother to do that. And I know his hand was probably sore. That shit was probably throbbing. Probably looked like Tom's hand out of Tom and Jerry after he hits it with a mallet or something.
Damn.
Don't worry, there is a video of it, and I also imagine the high-octane cocaine grandmaster Enter the Fist would also want a copy of that as well. I bet he would want to post this on his fucking LinkedIn. He probably thought this was the hypest shit imaginable. So I don't know the context with what led to it. Seems just like classic road rage, but it starts with her throwing some kind of like plastic water bottle at him or something. It looks like the squirt bottle from Space Jam or something with the secret stuff, and it misses, but it was still enough to trigger his super soldier programming, so he like NPC jogs over there and gets her with the fucking kablamo right on the car mirror, and then goes back to his vehicle and turns away. An incredible series of events here. I don't know if there's more to the story, but goodness gracious, what a fucking goofy thing to capture on camera. And speaking of goofy, since I used the word, Goof Juice, my GamerSupps flavor, available right now. Best flavor of anything ever made, I promise. Go to gamersupps.gg/moist to get some. Now, I want to also take you through memory lane here in Miami road rage history to bring you what I think to be one of the best instances of road rage that's ever been captured. This was quite a few years ago now, and it's something special.
You've likely heard of the term catching a ride, but it looks like this guy may have snagged more than he bargained for. At speeds up at 70 miles an hour, he clinged to the hood of this black Mercedes with one hand while on his cell phone with the other. Surprisingly, his sandals still sticking to his feet as passing drivers recorded video of the man as he zipped past cars on the express lanes of I-95 near Hollandale Beach Boulevard.
Bro, she's definitely pissed off at him or something.
Daniel Maida said he was driving south on 95 around 8 last night.
The videographer's theory was correct. He was able to sniff out this situation at just a glance. It turns out that it was a disagreement between an ex-boyfriend and that woman that's driving the car. And 70 miles per hour is no joke. If she so much as hit like a rock and caused the car to jostle a little bit, this guy would have fucking flown off. Like he would have shot off like Team Rocket into the sky. And heavens to Betsy, if she decided to just like brake check, just like slam on the brakes really quick, it would have been like a fucking railgun for this guy's body. He would have been vaporized. That is extremely fast, and it lasted for 19 miles. And what's incredible about this one isn't just the pure lunacy of this situation, but the fact that we have multiple angles. So the woman driving also filmed, and we have the 911 call. So he's casually hanging on to the car with one hand while on the phone with the other. And he's actually on with 911. So here's the audio of that.
911, what is your emergency?
Yes, I'm on top of a speeding vehicle. Someone's trying to steal my car.
Okay, what's the address?
Address? Say what?
I don't even know where I'm at.
It really is quite the pickle to be in, because they can't really triangulate that position. Like, he can't give them a location because it's changing so frequently.
This is what the crazy scene looked like from inside the car.
Get off of my car! Get off!
It was shot by the driver, Patricia Isidore, and that's her ex-boyfriend. You can see him hanging onto the windshield wiper with one hand and his cell phone in the other hand. For 19 terrifying miles down busy I-95 South near Miami.
Seeing the footage from inside of the vehicle is so interesting because he looks extremely calm. Like, he is just the Zen master here. 70 miles per hour for 19 grueling miles. That's a lot of distance to travel. Like, that's not a short time to be hanging on for dear life. And he's just looking at her disappointed. Like, just more disappointed than anything. Like, can't believe you've done this. He's giving her the same look I give to someone who makes, like, a really lame pun. Like, I don't know how he is that calm with all of that. Because, again, one tiny thing goes wrong, and he's just dead from there.
As I was getting ready to go and pick up my daughter, he hopped on top of my car. And I told him, get off the car, and he wouldn't get off the car.
The couple split up 8 months ago, but they're still trying to live together. Over, and Patricia Isidore was charged with negligence and exposure to harm. She spoke to WSVN TV after being released on bond.
Did you ever think to yourself, you shouldn't be driving?
No.
I don't know why she wouldn't have thought about not driving with him on the hood of the car. It's also dangerous for her, too. Like, she can't really see the road all that well either. Like, this could have been fatal for both of them. And really, it seems to have started over something pretty small, a disagreement on who could use the car at that time. And she wanted to go pick up the daughter, and then he decided to jump on the hood, and then she said, fuck it, we'll do it live, and just took off, just started zooming with it with him on the hood. Like, that's just unhinged. Like, that's crazy. That is a Miami road rage incident that I don't think can ever really be topped. But I do really think that the leaping karate chop is up there for some of the best Miami road rage I've seen. So I definitely wanted to talk about both of these. That's really about it. See ya.